Most people don't realize how much of their financial life is shaped by a system they don't fully understand. Credit, it affects where you live, what you pay for insurance, what interest rates you're offered, and in some cases, even your opportunities. But despite how important it is, very few people are ever taught how the system actually works. Instead, most people rely on scattered advice, things they hear online, short clips, quick tips, rules that sound simple but don't always explain the full picture. And over time, that creates confusion because some of that advice is incomplete. Some of it is misunderstood, and some of it is just repeated so often that it starts to sound true, even when it isn't. That's where this channel is different. This channel isn't built on quick fixes or shortcuts or hacks. It's built on understanding how credit systems actually function, how financial behavior is interpreted over time, and how decisions today can affect outcomes months or even years later. Because once you understand the system, you stop reacting to it and you start making more intentional decisions within it. That's the goal here, not to promise overnight results, not to chase numbers, but to build a clear, structured understanding of how this system really works so you can move with confidence instead of guesswork. Now, one thing I want to be very clear about, this content is provided for informational purposes only. It is not financial advice. Everyone's financial situation is different, and decisions should always be made based on your own circumstances. But if you're looking for a place that focuses on clarity, consistency, and real understanding instead of noise, you're in the right place. Because once you understand how the system works, you start to see things differently, and that's where we're going next. Most people think their credit score measures financial success. It doesn't. That's not what it was designed to do. A credit score answers one question: how likely are you to repay borrowed money? That's it. It doesn't measure your savings. It doesn't measure your investments. And it doesn't measure your long-term financial stability. It measures behavior inside the credit system. Here's what that means. Imagine someone who avoids debt completely. They pay cash for everything. No credit card, no loans. Financially, that person might be very responsible, but they could have a low credit score or no score at all. Why? Because the system has no data. Now look at someone else, someone who uses credit regularly. They make their payments on time. They manage their balances carefully. That person could have a high credit score even while carrying debt. That's the difference. Credit scores don't measure financial independence. They measure predictable borrowing behavior. And that's where a lot of people get misled because they start chasing a number without understanding what that number actually represents. And when you don't understand the system, it's easy to misinterpret what your score is telling you. Once you understand that, you stop chasing the number and you start understanding the system behind it. That's what this channel is about. Breaking down how the credit system actually works. Not the shortcuts, not surface level advice. The system itself. Again, this content is provided for informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. But if you want to understand how this system really works, consider subscribing because everything we cover here builds on this foundation. This is the War on Credit.